mean, they're just gorgeous, dude. Look at that. It really doesn't get much better than that. What's up, everybody? A question that I get quite often is what makes iguanas such good, amazing pets? More specifically, Cyclura, aka the rhinoceros iguanas, the Lewisi, which are the Grand Cayman Blues, Cuban iguanas. Those are your three common ones in the pet trade. So that's a question I get a lot, is what makes them such amazing pets? And they're so crazy as babies. So how does that translate into an amazing pet, you know, for someone who doesn't quite know? That's kind of what I want to talk about and show, because these guys really, in my opinion, with just between size, temperament, everything, they are the ultimate pet reptile that you have the space for. So first and foremost is what makes them so amazing is just look at them. I mean, the rhinos especially, they're just so prehistoric looking with those horns, which, you know, you can see right out here on Sully. Oh, I know you don't like being touched on the face, Bubba. Look at all that getting ready to shed. Tammy's got some too. Now, not all the rhinos get big horns like that, but these guys do. And they're just looking at them. I mean, they're just so cool looking. I mean, their faces just look like little dinosaurs. And as they get bigger, of course, those horns are going to get bigger. These little fat bulbs on their head will get bigger. And they're just so darn cool looking, and they're impressive. You know, a male Cyclura is going to get about 4 foot long. You know, and then they're all going to get to be a pretty good size. The Lewis will get, you know, 12, 13, 14, 15 pounds for a male. The rhinos can get 20 to 25 pounds. Typically, your females on both of them are going to be about half of that. But so they just get just big and impressive, and just, you know, just physically, I mean, they are just so cool. And we'll look at the Lewis to show why. Gosh, you can even kind of see some of the blues coming through on Sully's tail there. So yeah, these guys are just, they're like the pit bulls of the reptile world. They just, goodness gracious, they are just so freaking cool. Another huge thing, which more important than their looks, you know, obviously, is their sociability. How just mentally, how they are as a social animal, and just what their temperament is with people when they're treated the proper way and they're housed the proper way. So to show you one that's been properly socialized. Look at that. Oh, thank you for sneezing on me. They are just these perfect little things that just, they love being with you. These guys, they love being up on shoulders. They like kind of getting up high, even though they're not arboreal animals, which is pretty funny. But, you know, once you get them and you treat them right, they're so smart. They understand. They recognize me. They recognize, you know, Auburn. They come to recognize you, how you look, what you sound like, what you smell like. And even with strangers, with a properly socialized animal, kind of think of like with a dog, you know, if you have a properly socialized puppy, they're just going to be friendly with everybody. And that's exactly what we've got here with, well, the ones that we have that are social anyway. Okay, bye, Tammy. She's such a goober. It's hard to believe that she was such a nutcase when we got her. We weren't even sure. We got her from Starborn Reptiles, who were just amazing with rhinos. And they produce just some of the most incredible rhinos and with best temperament. Even they weren't sure that she was ever going to calm down and not be a psychopath. They sent her to me with Sully, and I also got Ron from them, all from different parents. And thankfully, just turned into his total sweetheart. But I mean, just look at this. I mean, even like, there's not even food aggression here. I mean, he's sitting here eating, doesn't care, just letting me get some scratches on him. Tammy, you are just so weird. But yeah, you can't beat it. I mean, just an animal that is not food aggressive. Again, when they're socialized correctly, they're treated correctly, they're housed correctly, is where you get all of these. If you're not meeting all of their needs and they're not being treated properly, of course you're going to have a different animal. But they're just so freaking amazing. And I mean, just look at that. I love my rhinos, man. Hi, hey Diego. He's in food mode, so he's going to be, oh god. Always got to be careful with him because he does like toes. And I am not going to risk a bite from a food bite from Diego. So I'm just kind of getting his focus over there. Come on. Ooh, that's a lot of grease. Alrighty, so now let's talk about the Lewis and some of the other awesome. He doesn't like cameras in his face. Yeah, get your focus off of my toes, sir. Yeah, just look at that. I mean, just That is a dinosaur. He is about 4 foot, 14, 15 pounds, something like that. I mean, I got a big hand, so I mean, that kind of shows you his size. But they're just puppy dogs. Like, you just come in here, see him standing up on all fours, tail down. No, he's not skinny. That's just what they look like in there when their belly's not filled with food. He just has a little cat there. But just look at that, just an absolute puppy dog. These guys are just, their temperament is just so amazing. They're so intelligent, and they're just, oh, I mean, they're just gorgeous, dude. Look at that. It really doesn't get much better than that, and especially when he blues up. You can see some of his blues. Ooh, yeah. I'm sorry, did the camera get too close to your face, you little butt? He just does not like cameras in his face. He doesn't like the paparazzi. Yeah, so just other things that make iguanas, again, rock iguanas, just the ultimate pet reptile, their diet. So they don't eat meat and bugs. Of course, we've talked about in a previous video about bugs. Occasional bugs for them is perfectly fine, but they're not like, you know, a bearded dragon or monitor, stuff like that, where you have to worry about feeding them bugs every single day. You gotta feed them, you know, chicken, and you gotta feed them rodents and all this other stuff. That stuff gets expensive very, very quick, and that makes their poop smell really, really bad. And it's a lot more to it, you know. So with just being able to feed greens, different greens and vegetables and fruits, keep your bill down, you know, of course, unless you have a million of them like we do, then, you know, we spend, you know, about $55, $60 a week on their food, which really isn't that bad. But their poops really don't smell that bad because there's no animal protein in it. And their diet's just, it's super easy. You don't, like, you keep it in the fridge. Anybody can feed them. You know, there are some people that don't like having to feed rodents, even if they're frozen. They don't like having to deal with bugs, keep bugs in your house, because those can all smell really bad. You know, so getting an herbivorous lizard is just the ultimate, oh, you doofus. It's just the ultimate reptile. Why don't you not step on your bowl? You're so special. Yeah, so it's just so awesome. They're just, you feed them freaking salad. You know, so you could be a vegetarian. Stop going after my toes. I'm trying to leave you alone. Here, go over there. Goodness gracious. Sometimes he can be a little jerk face. But it's also breeding season, so his hormones are a little bit high. But yeah, he's just so awesome. So the next really cool thing about these guys, I'm trying to get the tripod up here. Hey, Ron. I mean, they just come over to you. That's actually what I was trying to talk about, but oh, maybe he's coming over here for Bindi. I don't know. Ron's being a little goober. But what was I gonna say? Oh yes. So, hello. What are we doing? I know it's breeding season. Our hormones are out of whack. You're wanting food. Hey, Ronald. But anyways, what I keep trying to say, something that to me it's a pro and a con kind of all in one. Oh my goodness gracious, is their cage sizing. So they need massive cages. Ideally, you're gonna want a walk-in cage, you know, just one of these animals. You know, Diego's in a 12 foot by 9 foot, and goodness gracious. And I would love to be able to give him more space, which in the future, I plan on. I'll just get that bag out of there for right now. The bigger the cage you have, the more comfortable that these animals are gonna be, which when it comes to taming, that's a huge deal. Girl, don't you start going after my toes now. Are you gonna be crazy today? Not too bad. So with taming them, like that's how I got, you know, Ron and Tammy, that's how they got as tame as they are. You are just this crazy girl today. What's going on with you? You know, Ron and Tammy both being crazy, so I bought them. It was in this cage that I had them, which this is a good sized cage. If, you know, y'all have seen me kind of talk about it before. You know, it's, I think I'm like 12 feet long this way. It's like 5.5-ish feet wide right there. Probably another 6-ish feet there. And then, I mean, yeah, so I mean, you can just see, I mean, this is a huge enclosure. So being able to give them a big enclosure that you can walk in, it allows them to feel at home, feel more comfortable, and feel like they can get away from you if need be. I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent, but just explaining why I love the bigger cages compared to in a smaller cage. So big cages definitely are going to be a con for a lot of people. A lot of folks aren't going to have the ability to give these giant cages. You know, we're very lucky that we have a very large unfinished basement, so we're able to do a lot of these cages here. And then eventually when we get a better, bigger and better property, we're going to be able to do some even cooler stuff. So for those who have the space to do it, that these are not the best pet reptile for everybody. These are the best pet reptile for anybody who has the means to take care of them properly. Come here, Ron. Get some camera time, buddy. I love old Ron Swanson here. I know y'all have been following along with him. He seems to be most everyone's favorite. But yeah, just having big cages, you can just do such cool stuff. You can set them up to be really naturalistic, which we're gonna go a lot more naturalistic when we move and do bigger enclosures. But just, it's just not cramped. You can come in, you can walk around with them, you can sit in here with them in their environment where they're more comfortable. You're gonna see more of their natural behaviors. So just everything about these big cages are just awesome. Ain't that right, Ron? What are you doing? You gonna say hello to everybody in the YouTube world, or are you gonna climb on my head? He's gonna climb on my head. Look how pretty Bindi is. What a pretty girl. So Bindi is our one that is actually not from Starborn. Not 100% certain on what her bloodline is. More than likely, she's probably a Thai Park. Just not sure, but not a big deal because she's awesome. Ron, you are just such a goober. Get over here. That's such a sweet boy. But yeah, so big cage. I mean, it's just awesome. You do so much cool stuff in here with it. All right, so not iguana related, but I just love showing off the Aldabras, and since I'm kind of going around feeding, I'm just gonna talk about them a little bit here. So these guys are just really, really fun. For all those that have been following along with us, they are all from San Pascucci. Again, this is all their grass pellets that have expanded and then dried up. So I'm just gonna actually re-wet all of that, and that usually will entice them to want to eat it more. Aldabra tortoises are a grassland tortoise, which means they are little jerk faces that like to step in their food. Period. What on earth? No, I'm sorry, that's Frederick. I can't even keep track of my own animals. But yeah, so which means that they are grasses, hay, stuff like that. That's just their staple diet, but they're just really fun. Today I'm actually just feeding them. Look how big Fred's getting. This is a 12-inch saucer, and you just saw him walk over that, just to show you an idea of how large these guys are getting. So for them today, like I said, I'm just gonna give them a whole papaya. Papayas are, as an occasional treat. Oh god, they're about to knock something over here. Guys, I'm trying to make a video while I'll get you your food. Papayas are a really good treat. Every few weeks or so I give them one. It's really, really good for hydration. There's a really high moisture content in the papayas. And then, nothing's really been proven, but it is kind of like an old wives' tale in the reptile hobby that papaya and their seeds are really good, like anti-parasitical, or have anti-parasitical properties to help like with their gut flora and whatnot. So if that's true, amazing. If it's not true, it's whatever. So you look over here, look at this girl, look at Phyllis. So she's actually drinking. I don't want to get the phone kind of too close and spook her off. But Aldabra tortoises actually drink through their nose like a straw. So that's why she's got her face just buried in there. Oh my goodness, these guys are so fun. I know I'm talking a lot, I'm rambling a lot, we're going over a lot of information here. But that's what I do. I'm a talker. I love these animals. I'm very passionate about them. And I like being able to, spread the wealth here. So here's what I'm doing with this. I try and just break it open into two pieces if it's not too difficult. I might just have to push it down there. There we go. Just rip that bad boy open so they can get into it. I plop it right there. With a smaller animal, you're gonna want to be really, really careful with those seeds. But since these guys are bigger, it's not anything that I am overly concerned with. They can take them down perfectly fine. I love giving them like their little shower here when whenever I come in to see them. But look at that, already they are just digging in. They love this stuff. Try to zoom in here a little bit for y'all. Look at that face. Oops, there we go. Aren't they just so freaking adorable? Oh, gotta get Dwight in the background. You need a little shower too, buddy. And what's crazy is that papaya, it's gone in just absolutely no time. But tell me that that is just not the coolest thing, just seeing all four of them there. That's awesome. So if y'all are interested in, you know, potentially getting your hands on an Aldabra, definitely check out Sam at Florida Iguana Tortoise Breeders. He's just awesome dude, and his animals are just top notch. So yeah, so I know this has been a, like I just said, it's been a long video, but I just really love these animals, and I love being able to talk about them, excuse me, and share them with all of y'all watching. I would love to see one day where these guys are, you know, considered a more common household name than what they currently are. They're just freaking awesome. Still loving them all. Hey, baby G, Gabby. Hoping still to get babies from them this year since she was ovulating. So hopefully get some babies from them. Still haven't plugged that light back in. Hoping to get babies down here from Freddie and Sky. So if you're interested in getting one of these amazing creatures. Oh, another really good thing about them. I'm just all over the place. So they grow relatively slow as far as big lizards go. So it's not like a water monitor where in a year they're outgrowing their small cage and they're going to need a bedroom. It can take them 4 or 5 years to get to be that size. You know, so it's something that you can start them off in like a 4x2x2 cage, something like that. That could last them for a couple of years, and then you just start upgrading from there. So they're a more slow-paced animal. You do need to have patience with them. But anyway, so if you're interested in hopefully later this year getting your hands on a baby, I'm hoping for 2 clutches of Lewisi and 1 clutch of rhinos. So I'm hoping Sully and Tammy end up breeding for us this year. So if you guys are interested in getting a baby, you know, once we do get our first clutches and our first hatchlings, with it being our first, we're still trying to grow our name and get us out there. You know, we're going to be offering really good deals on our first babies. So hit us up on that. Again, thank y'all for watching. Leave a comment and let me know down below which one of these amazing animals, who's your favorite. You know, it's hard for me to pick a favorite, but y'all pretty much know who my favorite is. But yeah, thanks y'all. We'll catch y'all next time. You know, something I forgot to talk about while I was down there, because there's so many amazing things about Cyclura that it's hard to wrap my mind around all of them. Samson, what are you? That dog must be on some illegal substance. Leave the wood alone. But one of the coolest things about Cyclura that, again, makes them such amazing animals, such amazing pets, is their intelligence. They are, Samson, stop. They are just so intelligent, unlike this dog. They're very, very smart. They have just this crazy, just problem-solving brain, you know, so they can figure things out very easily. They're very similar to like what monitors are, as far as what their brain is, how they think, how they see things, how they perceive things. They're not just like, you know, a ball python that sits there with one brain cell ping-ponging back and forth. They really do, they can think. It's crazy that it's very old school, of course, but just to think of reptiles being these just intelligent, just incredibly intelligent creatures, you know, it's something that's still pretty new to the game. Huge shout out to Tom Crutchfield and Vanessa and Stacy and all of them down there in Miami. They are definitely the ones who started that movement, talking about and showing intelligence in all reptiles, not just in Cyclura. But they're just such incredible, amazing, smart creatures that just makes them just that much more fun to interact with. You know, they all have their different personalities. Just everything about them just makes them, they very much are just like a smart dog. So like Nico here, he's a very smart dog. He can be derpy, he can get on my nerves, but he is incredibly smart and has such a fun personality to him. And that's just like what all these rock iguanas have. So yeah, don't really have much else to say on that, but check it out for yourself if you don't have one yet. please do your research, and if you have the means to get one, I can't recommend them enough. So yeah, check us out.